We are recording, and this is the UpViral Co-Pilot Show on Tuesday, January 25th, 2022. How can it already be the fourth freaking week? Is that right? Fourth? Oh, January. Maybe it's the third. I don't know. Let's see. 21 times 7. 21 times 7. 7 times 3 would be 20. Oh my gosh. It is going to be bad today. It is going to be bad. I can tell it. I woke up crabby this morning at 4:30. Ha 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 ha. All right. And apparently I have a little cough going. So we are going to do some reviews. Since nobody gave me any links. Hey, Glenn. Glenn says I'm on the road listening to the conversation. Claudia says it is still in draft. Let's talk about that too. Here's the key. Yes. You need to publish your campaign first. Now, UpViral has this plan. Danny and I have talked about it. And Ben and I talked about it a long time ago before Danny took over from Ben. When Ben left as product manager, we talked about how they were going to give us some phases so that we could put a campaign like in draft mode, but to still be able to look at it so that it wasn't public to everybody. But that hasn't been fully implemented. So here's the deal. And a lot of people freak out about this. It's okay. It is okay. Don't panic. The very first thing I do when I create a new campaign is I hit the publish button. Now that publish button does not mean shout this to the world. I'm sorry, it says launch. Actually, it says launch. I think. We can go look, but I think it says launch. It doesn't shout it out to the world. Nobody knows that it's there. There's no universal catalog of all the UpViral campaigns running on the planet. It just means, let me look at it, really. Now, you could theoretically start putting traffic to it the very instant that you create it. Obviously, you don't want to do that. But that's okay. In order to view the page, now there is a preview inside the editor, but I kind of like to just click a button and go to the thing and test it, right? That's me. So the first thing I do is I click that launch button. Now Claudia says, I'm just working on the first page, which is okay. You gotta start somewhere, right? So we're going to look at that in just a minute. But I have a couple things that I want to ask you guys. More people are showing up. Bless you for all being here. Thank you. See, I do this sometimes and I never... There was... Sherry Lewis was on a show called... What was it called? And she would say, I see Billy, I see Bobby, I see Claudia, I see Glenn. Oh, Romper Room. That was the name of the show. So Ike's here, Jeff's here, welcome Kiki, 1CF USA, who's that? Pat, Peter, Robert, Rodney, Steve Miller, Steve Thailand, Steve Hoagland. Good golly, there's 4 of you here. 4 Steves or Stevens. Great to have you here. Tim's here and Volker's here. Good to see you here. Thank you for being here. I'm going to have a fun show, I think, next week. Just so you know, show up, because I think it's going to be fun. Because what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the new unified templates. Now, Danny and I did a show about the unified templates. And what I'm finding is that nobody really understands them. Nobody really understands what they can or can't do for you. And so what I want to do is spend the whole show talking about just the new unified templates. It is a major change to the way UpViral works, but it's virtually invisible if you don't know that it's there. And so I've decided we're going to talk about that next week, assuming I get approval from the UpViral team to talk about that, because I've submit a list of show ideas to them. I did that just this morning. And B, that I get time to make things ready. I am really thrilled about the new unified templates, but there are some things you gotta know and you gotta learn in order to really use them the way you potentially could use them. All right. So does anybody understand what unified templates are? If so, if not, show up next week. How many of you have used one of the campaign shares, right? Have you ever grabbed a link from somebody else and used one of their templates, campaigns? I know we've shared several here with UpViral. Have you used anybody else's? Is anybody out there sharing campaigns? I'm curious. Let me know if you do, if you have. All right. I also want to talk about two things briefly. Well, one thing for sure. I've seen this, and it's been mentioned several times in the last month or two. Now, I'm going to go over to my UpViral, and I got to log in. I haven't logged in this morning, so I'm going to log in. And now I'm going to share my screen with you, because I want to share with you something that most people have accidentally, I shouldn't say most people, many people have accidentally turned it on, and they don't know how to undo it. And they didn't realize what they were doing. So if you go to your main dashboard and you click on the settings, and you go to general, I always forget where it is. So we're on settings. You guys see my cursor? Pro mouse, make sure I turn my circle on. Settings up here at the top. And then over here on the left-hand navigation, go to general. There is this little hidden thing over here that says display text. And frankly, nobody really understands what it means. And someday I'm going to get them to make this a little bit more understandable. Does anybody know what LTR or RTL stands for? Claudia said, I've only shared my own campaigns. Who have you shared them with? Claudia says left to right and right to left. That's right. Very good. Tim says the same thing. Right to left. RTL. Or Tim said left to right. Yes. If you are an English speaker or some form of, I don't know what the right words are, Germanic or Romanic or whatever the right words. And Pat says, hey Pat. Pat says, I learned this today. If you accidentally turn this on right to left, your editor, your pages are going to start looking really weird, as Pat experienced, and people in my mastermind have experienced it. And people have sent me questions and said, hey, all of a sudden I type in a sentence like in the editor, and I type in Mitch is great, exclamation point, and the exclamation point ends up at the front of the sentence. And they get really baffled by that. That's because of this switch. Right, Pat? What happened is that you turned on right to left, and now it's interpreting it like Middle Eastern languages or Japanese. Many languages are read right to left, whereas most things like English and Spanish read left to right. So if you accidentally come in here and you're like, oh, I don't know what that does, I'm going to find out, and you click that and then you forget about it. No, you're not a clown, Pat. You're not a clown. It happens to the best of us. I mean, I've had mastermind members come to me and look, Mitch, the thing's all weird, and all the sentences are left justified or right justified instead of left justified, and what do I do? And I'm like, go in there and turn that switch back to LTR. That's all you got to do. Turn it back to LTR. Do save. And then everything is right with the world. So thank you, Pat, for posting that in the UpViral group. I have seen that question several times. All right. Now, Claudia is working on a campaign. Bless your heart. Claudia, I'm ringing the bell for you. You're working on a campaign. Let's see if I can just click it and it opens in Safari. And that's okay. I'll bring it over onto the screen so you guys can see it. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick review for Claudia. Bravo. Thank you for being brave, Claudia. Can I come live on the show and ask you about it? Well, we haven't actually done that before, but I guess you could. Do you really? Let's try that. You want to try that? I am bold. In order for that to work, I think I have to add you as a panelist. So let me turn off screen sharing so that I can see the screen the way I'm used to. Let's see. Are you really ready for this? I could do either thing. I can do allow to talk, or I can promote. Let's try allow to talk. What do you think? There we go. Let's see if Claudia's there.
Yes, I'm here.
Nice. Look at that.
Hi, Mitch.
Hi, Claudia. Welcome to the show.
Feeling privileged.
Yes, you are privileged. You're the first that I've ever tried this with. Oh, bravo.
Okay.
So do you have any questions before we start?
Yes, because I thought I started with the designing of the pages because
Yes.
I got a bit confused thinking about what incentives I could make. So my purpose is to get people on my list and to have them refer other people to me.
Okay.
And I have a free guide with, no, I will first let you walk through the page as you see it and not influence you, and then ask about the strategy behind it.
Okay, good.
I've learned from before.
I have put on my headphones because I hear much better, especially when there's a little bit of an accent. So that's why I put on my headphones.
Sorry for the accent.
No. We don't apologize for the way we speak, all right? I
Okay.
sound different to you, and you sound different to me. That's it. And I will say, bravo, Claudia, and anybody else who speaks more than one language. I speak English and Mitch. That's the two languages I speak. All right, let's move on. So, I do like the reason Claudia said, I'll let you look at it for those of you who may never have seen me do this. I do like to look at a campaign as if I've never seen it before, and in this case, I've never seen it before. I know some reviewers like to know a whole bunch of stuff in the background about why you're doing it, what you're trying to do, and I don't, because I want to look at it as if I am seeing it as somebody out there on the web. Maybe it got shared on Facebook and I'm coming here for the very first time, and I don't want to know what you're trying to do. I want to try to help you figure out if what you're trying to do is appealing or working for anybody that's a cold bit of traffic. I'm taking off my jacket because I'm no longer cold. It's 12 degrees Fahrenheit here today, which I don't know is -5 or something Celsius. And it's just gotten very warm in this room. All right. The first thing we see up at the top is, are you a plant-based food lover and in menopause? All right. I was just looking at the comments to see if I missed anything over there. I don't happen to be in this audience, so that's okay. I don't, A, love plant-based food, or B, I'm not female. So, get the free guide with full evidence of what your body needs during menopause and which foods help lower menopause symptoms. Okay, I'm seeing a picture. The pictures of food, plant-based food, I can tell. There's a bit of white space here that kind of bothers me from a photography viewpoint, because there's nothing there. Maybe you wanted to put some words there. You got space to do that if you want to. The topic is, are you a plant-based food lover and in menopause? Now, what I often suggest to people is you talk about a struggle. And maybe that's implied in the topic, but it might help if you're a little bit more clear about what the struggle is, Claudia. Over here it says get the free guide with evidence of what your body needs during menopause. So somebody help me out. Kiki's here. Tell me if you just read this sentence, Kiki, and as a female, I'm asking you. Do you understand what the pain point is that this thing is potentially going to address without looking at anything else on the page? And Kiki, if you're there, let me know. Yes. You're a man? I always thought Kiki was a female. Uh-oh. Yikes! Do you see me blushing now? Alright, never mind. So, I think this is good, but I think it could be better. Claudia is laughing at me. Great. Because I feel like there should be more of a struggle up here at the top. I'm struggling, can you tell? Get the free guide with full evidence that your body needs during menopause. I'm also struggling with this, and this could be a potential... Claudia, what's your native language?
Dutch.
Dutch. Thank you.
Yes.
Because I'm struggling with the wording of this. It feels a little clunky.
Yeah.
And you said it, how plant-based food can support you during menopause. That's a better phrase, I think, than full evidence of what your body needs during menopause. What about, are you menopaused and a plant-based food lover? I guess the struggle I have, because I'm not female, is if the phrase, are you menopaused, is enough for people to understand what the struggle is. I mean, I know I've been through that as a man. I've seen it happen. I don't know. You can also potentially split test, right? Let's not forget, assuming you're on the business plan, and maybe you're not, because I do see UpViral powered in the lower corner. On the business plan, you can turn that off, and you can do split testing. I like split testing because it really helps you figure out what wording is working and what wording doesn't when you're doing lots and lots of campaigns. The struggle, Claudia says, is the menopause, your body has special needs. Yes. And I guess I'm struggling. I just don't know whether that needs to be called out or not in more words. But you can, like I said, you can split test that. I love this phrase over here, on a mission to help women lose weight and escape their misery. This could be right up top, above this, or something similar. The struggle I'm having is that it's just not, when I'm landing on this page, I'm not sure exactly what the pain points are. So if you brought this up and then said something that was a little bit more obvious, then that would work. Couple of good points. Kiki said, learn how to cure menopause with the proper diet. I don't think you can cure menopause, but you can reduce the symptoms, yes. Stephen, interesting, says, heart emojis is a mixed message. How about a frowny face? I think that could be An interesting point. I hadn't even thought about that. So thank you, Stephen. They probably have to lose weight. Should there there should just be one problem? Claudia asked. There could be multiple symptoms and multiple uh, mentions of struggles with those things. It's all wrapped up around menopause. Now, if you were going to specifically target one of the symptoms, then yes, I would only mention that. But if your free guide talks about multiple things, I would certainly mention those because it's all wrapped around the struggle of menopause and what it does to your body. So Pat says maybe use this title. Do you know that the plant? Do you know the plant-based foods that can alleviate your menopause symptoms? Good suggestion. Tim says, I like this one. Free guide reveals benefit 1, benefit 2, benefit 3. The free guide, benefit 1, benefit 2, benefit 3. Sign up today and be eligible to receive, not get, but be. How about, let's back up. I'm also a big fan of reducing words. Because this says sign up today and get and be eligible to receive. Why not just say sign up and receive, or sign up today and receive, and then bullet point these things and make this bigger, and maybe combine it. Because both of these things potentially are saying the same thing, right? This free guide, what's in the free guide? A weekly menu with easy recipes, free challenges, recipes, I'm not sure what the wording is here that you're trying to say, and more.
Yeah, I copied the template of UpViral, and
Yes,
it was more about the tea club, and if you would share it, that you would be able to receive more prizes.
right.
So the small letters is for the incentives and not for the kite itself. So the guide would be a report with evidence on which foods will support you,
Right.
and then below. But normally you don't teach it like that. That's yeah. So I was a bit struggling with that because I thought maybe I should just leave it as it is and surprise them on the next page.
Yes. That's my theory. And I'm glad you're highlighting. The templates that UpViral has were not built by me. And as you know, since you appear on almost every week, I tend to do things a little bit differently than what they do. In my case, in my suggestion, now that I understand what you mean by be eligible to receive, you're talking about the fact that these things could come later if they do certain activities. Got it. And that wasn't really clear, and I don't think it's very clear on their template. Shh, don't tell them I said that.
I will just do it on the next page then, and show them what they can get as an incentive. Yes.
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 The other thing is, in your particular situation, depending upon, again, there's a million different ways of doing this. I love this picture and the story of you down here, right? I'm on a mission to blah, blah, blah. Claudia, that's you. I lost 40 pounds and dropped 4 dress sizes during menopause. This is a big deal. This is validation that you know what you're talking about. And that goes with the struggle that you potentially are talking about up here at the top, right? This picture is not really adding much to the party. This adds a whole lot more to the party for me. Now, I would also potentially crop it because I'm an ex-photographer. I don't know if you guys know that. I used to run a photography video blog. There's just a whole bunch of cloud white space up here, and the space over here is not really helping much. It would probably be better if you just grabbed, like maybe down here just below your hands and had this section, because then it brings your face closer to the front. People don't need to see all of this stuff. It's not adding anything to the picture. You and your smile and enough of your body that you're showing that you've lost the weight would be much better than all of this extra stuff. Steve says, do you want to do a before picture? I am not going to be a fan of a before picture here because then that's implying that you're doing a weight loss program, whereas there's more to it than that. I think the words are enough. And again, this is Mitch's opinion, and I could be wrong that maybe a before and an after would work better. But you know what I'm going to say, Steve? Claudia, what am I going to say? Since you're here.
It depends.
Yes, that's one thing.
And
the other is
test it. You have to
do a split test. That's the other one. Yes, thank you. Well done. You got me on both of them. It depends. So I just, if you could maybe just eliminate this picture.
Yeah.
Stronger introduction with the pain point.
Yeah, and then maybe the a subtag under it on that I lost 40 pounds and dropped 4 dress sizes in menopause.
Right? Yes. Because that's the selling point to me. You know what you're talking about. You've accomplished it. That's why this guide is valuable. Right? Mm-hmm. Then I would say get my free guide as opposed to the free guide, because then it's tying it back to you.
Yeah.
What your body needs during menopause and which foods to help lower menopause symptoms. Sign up now. Make it simple, but bringing this to the front will make it a big world of difference to the sales side of it. I would be much more interested if you're sharing your experience than this just putting this picture of plant-based food.
Yep.
Somebody asked a question earlier, and I do not know the answer to the question. I don't see where it went. Oh, there it is. Stephen asked, does vegetarian equal plant-based foods? I don't know the answer to this.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, thank you.
So plant-based is with no animal foods at all, most of the time. So vegan is entirely animal cruelty-free, so to say. And with vegetarian, you still eat cheese and eggs. So that has an animal source.
Right.
And then you have also vegan plant-based to make it complicated. So we're working, yeah. So the best word for me is plant-based, that people know that you eat most of the time you will eat plants and not animals.
Perfect. And so the people that are in that niche will understand what those words are better than me, who's not.
Yeah.
Somebody who needs to potentially go there, because in the last 2 years I've put on a few pounds like many people have with COVID. Obviously I'm not in your niche because I'm not female and suffering through menopause, but who knows what the hell I'm going through. You know, we men are different.
Well, you know, I could help potentially everybody that would be a good fit and motivated. But my specialty is in menopause because I went through that process myself. So that is my extra specialty, so to say.
Yes.
My other question to you is,
ahead.
This is the only thing I created today, because when I started, I have another campaign running, and there I had the menopause guide as an incentive. So now I'm creating a different funnel, and then I thought, is that the idea? Do I want that, or do I want to split test the first page and keep my incentives the same? Or do I want to create several freebies and then incentivize people from there? So then I got confused, and then I thought, well, you know what? I first do some designing
Right?
before I start with where I actually had to start with deciding what I can reward them with that would make them exciting to do so.
Right. So that's a great question. A really good question, and I don't think most people really think about this. In your case, and it's what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend it to the long term and make an assumption, but maybe you're doing it, maybe you're not. So let's suppose that you actually have 3 different campaigns. Right now you have 2, right? One solution that you mentioned was to do a split test, to take a page inside of campaign A and make it be for plant-based and the other just purely for menopause, right? So both pages inside of campaign A. You can see the conversion rate inside of UpViral for a split test. But let's suppose you want to take it a little bit farther and you're going to do some long-term kind of stuff. If you have it in 2 separate campaigns, what autoresponder do you use, Claudia?
I used MailChimp.
Okay. Inside of MailChimp, you can do tagging, right?
Yeah.
If you're coming from different campaigns, you can have a different set of tags. So let me be clear about what I'm talking about. And this potentially is a very interesting choice for you to make. So I'm going back to my dashboard and I'm just going to grab my unified template thing that I'm sending out. When I go to setup and I go to autoresponder, I'm using ActiveCampaign, but MailChimp's very similar. Right? You pick your autoresponder and you have the ability to send in tags. I'm pretty sure MailChimp will let you do that too. Let me see if I still have my MailChimp set up.
Yes, they have.
MailChimp. So I have a MailChimp set up. So you can do tagging down here. So if you're doing 2 different campaigns, physically different UpViral campaigns, you can send through separate tags. So you could clearly identify that Betty signed up under campaign A and Paula signed up under campaign B because you would put different tags on there and you would identify in your autoresponder. And now once they're in your autoresponder, you can theoretically process different emails, different tests of emails, and you can even track eventually to see whether people buy depending upon what tagging you use. I'm not sure how far you want to go with that, but that is one way of thinking about it differently because it's essentially campaign level split testing. You're not going to get the exact kind of data on you'll get conversion rates, but you may not understand exactly because it's not the same audience coming in. 1,000% the same audience. But that way you could at least do the tagging and follow up with them and see what kind of conversion rates you're getting in your emails, what kind of sales, etc. But if you're just going with split tests on one campaign, you don't know that Betty signed up through page A or page B. You with me?
I could still tag them in an individual campaign as well. So, you mean that if you combine them in one with a split test, then you would not be able to tag them individually?
Correct. In one
Yeah.
campaign, even though what you're split testing is the conversion rate of pages.
Yeah.
If you're doing separate campaigns, then you have potentially different groups of people, and they could be in a separate list or separate tags or both, depending upon how you plan to use that data, but at least it's more physical data in your autoresponder versus just a split test inside UpViral.
Yeah, so then it would be best to have 2 individual campaigns, I believe. So you can optimize each campaign individually.
Yes. If
with
they're
with the design of pages. And
correct. Sure.
yeah.
But you're more separating audiences than you are pages, right? You're trying to identify 2 groups of people versus which page works better.
No, I'm interested in women in menopause who would like to lose weight on a plant-based diet. So,
right.
But I don't know what triggers them to sign up. Is it my Timex? Is it recipes?
Right.
Is it like this specific menopausal needs? And that would be interesting to figure out.
Right.
But if I would then embed one of the UpViral landing pages on my homepage, then I would get a different result in my leads, I believe, for my conversions. So I should not put it on my homepage, then I should drive traffic to it myself. So I know that there's relevant traffic visiting, isn't it?
Yes. But again, you know what I'm saying? It depends.
Yeah.
I mean, there certainly is the ability now with the unified templates to add a pop-up or a popover or a widget on your homepage, but that would only be for one campaign. You are correct. If you're doing 2 different campaigns, then it may be more difficult to figure out what's working from your homepage, from your website. We're getting into very complicated thoughts here. This is not for the very first time user, but it potentially could be very useful for you if you were using that data down the road to further analyze what your people are using, what they're signing up for, what their open rates are, what they eventually buy. I'm currently on active campaign myself. But I have had 2 clients and a mastermind person, who are using Klaviyo. And Klaviyo has the ability to track sales in an e-commerce kind of basis. And so I've seen it done inside of Klaviyo where you can take a list, for example, like this, and see how much they've purchased in the last 6 months on a global kind of a basis. Which makes it really interesting if you're doing long-term data collection and that kind of stuff. That's really wild, extra bonus kind of conversation because it could potentially. I've asked, for example, Fujifilm. I did a campaign for them, big national campaign for them. And I talked to the advertising manager and I said, well, do you want me to do anything really detailed in terms of data analysis or anything? He said, nope, I don't do any tracking of that stuff. I happen to know over the last umpteen years, we can convert 2.5% to 3% of the people that come into our email list. So I just want you to shove a whole bunch of people into my email list that are kind of interested in photography and I'll take care of the rest. So how people use the data once they have it and their lists and everything else is fascinating. And you might have to have a marketing degree or a business degree to figure some of that stuff out. But anyway, so I went down a bit of a rabbit hole there.
And then the last question, Mitch, if I may, for the popover.
Uh-huh.
Does that need to be a separate campaign or can I pop over any campaign that I have?
You can pop over any campaign that is in the new unified templates. And that's why I said next week we're going to talk about that in a lot of detail. Because it is very confusing as to where it works and how it works. And whether or not you can do A or B or C. So we're going to kind of go over that in a lot of detail next week.
Thank you so much for what you've done so far, and the
course.
others in the chat as well for the amazing feedback. I'm learning again.
We're all learning all the time. I'm always learning. I learned some stuff from my friend Shamal. I had a conversation with him just the other day, and I was like, I learned something I've never thought about before. So when I'm talking, by the way, just as a really quick thing for anybody watching, if you go into your design pages in UpViral and it says right here, searching for the widget, then you are on the unified templates. That campaign is one of the new unified templates. What do I mean by that? When you go into the editor, you will now see, slowly, I'll put on my music. There it comes. All right. You'll see up here at the top, there are 3 buttons. One for desktop, one for mobile, and one for widget. Now the popover, the widget, and the pop-up all use the version inside the widget. But if you go into one of the older campaigns, whether it's I'm calling it a version 2 or even a version 1, you will not see this third one, the widget. And we'll go into that in a whole lot of detail next week, but I wanted to give you an idea. If you don't see this, you're not in the new unified templates. The other way of seeing it, by the way, is if you go to the Publish tab and you see this down at the bottom, embed the campaign on your web page, that's also an indication of the new unified templates. And I said that, and I'm just going to take it back. I'm going to rewind that. You will see that in version 2 now, too. I take that back. You just won't see the popover. I'm pretty sure that's the way that works. But anyway, what I've been doing is I've been marking my campaigns with this some kind of a tile so that when I'm in my dashboard, I know which ones are created with the new templates and which ones aren't. So if I scroll down here, for example, and I grab this one, now it says unified in it. Unified, I'll just keep going. Not that one, I can't show you that one. This is an older one. So we'll learn on the fly. If I go to publish, this is the old templates. See? There is no publish or embed option down there. I was right. See, sometimes I back off on things. So you see a different set of menus over here as well. And if I went into the design, you would see that there weren't 2 options at the top. All right. Claudia, anything else?
One more question.
Sure.
So if I would launch several campaigns, it would be okay to have one incentive page and one way of incentivizing people. So keep that the same.
Yes, you can do that.
Because every week I also have a free Facebook live training. I could also create a funnel of that.
Yes. Yes, you could.
And if I have the thank you page every time the same,
How would you do that? Do you know how to do that? It's a great question.
Don't know.
So if you are in, let's say my newsletter campaign is like my master, the first one that has the page that is the share page that has the different incentives in it. If you go to another campaign, and I keep forgetting, I still never have learned to come over here and click edit, but if you go into setup, and you go to design, and you go to either one of these split tests, and I do split test, there's this thing here called Page from My Campaigns. And you can see the pages from other campaigns that you have. So you see this one says New Unified Newsletter? That's the one that I said was my master, so I can copy this into my new campaign. It's a great feature. Most people don't know that it's there. Are you with me?
Yes, I am.
Great. And that's also, by the way, the show after next week. I think my tentative title is Features That Nobody Knows About. That's one of the features I'm going to put in that show. So you've got an early tease. Anything else, Claudia?
Not for now. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm going to scroll back because I was not reading the comments. Steve asks, why only 2 campaigns? Why not have 2 separate programs? A lot of the knowledge overlaps, but you have a whole new market with people like Copilot hosts that have put on the pounds. Yeah, you could actually do as many campaigns, like Claudia just said. You could do multiple campaigns. Programs, you can split all your, that's a business decision. Which lead magnets am I going to use for this audience? Which lead magnets, which campaigns, which funnels, which products am I going to sell to this audience? So you can do it a whole variety of different ways, Steve. Yes. All right. Claudia, I'm going to send you to the Bit Bucket. Thank you for being open and brave enough to test out bringing somebody online. Bravo. Ring the bell for Claudia. Kiki has a question. Now I'm having to reframe my brain. Kiki was always a feminine name to me. Partly because my daughters watched a movie when they were real little kids called Kiki's Delivery Service, and Kiki was a woman in there. That's where it comes from. All right. Kiki's question. I just started working on a campaign for an exotic car rental service. Client. Bravo. Good for you. I know you said don't give away product more than $100. I never said that. I said you can run campaigns for small prizes and be perfectly happy with it. I never said don't do it. However, all the rentals are more than $100 per day and are going to use 3 prize method where the 3 winners get a free day if they rent more than 2 days. 2 or more days. Sure, you can do that. Absolutely. I mean, I've seen people giving away Teslas, quote unquote. My father named me after Kiki Vanderway, the basketball player for the New York Knicks. Bravo! See, I learn something new every day. Don't assume gender. I've seen people doing Tesla giveaways, and typically what they're doing is like a 3-year lease for a Tesla. In the United States, there are several rules. If you're going to follow the rules, number 1, states like Florida and I believe Texas, for any prize over, I think it's $500, require that you put up a bond, an amount of money that will guarantee that you're going to give that prize away. So if you're doing a campaign that is nationwide, in your case, you're probably not. It's because it's a car rental service, which is probably a local business. But do be careful. In my advice I'm talking about here is be careful for everybody what your local laws are. In the United States, by the way, if you run a contest with a single prize that is more than $600, you are required to do a 1099 for that prize so that the IRS can go to the person that's the winner and say, hey, you won a prize. We know it was more than $600. You got to pay taxes on it. You're required by law to issue that 1099. Gotta know your laws. That's one of the reasons why I try not to do prizes greater than $600. You could have a bundle of prizes, but don't let the total value for one winner be more than $600 if you can help it. I just don't want to deal with sending in those 1099s. It's not hard. It costs you $3 or $4 if you use an automated service, but you got to remember to do it and you got to send them in. So, could you give away multiple rentals for a free day? Here's the other thing you have to be careful of. And I am not a legal lawyer. Gosh, we've been here almost an hour. Yikes. Be careful with the laws. In the United States, if you're doing a sweepstakes / giveaway, not a campaign that is a judged campaign, but a sweepstakes, random draw kind of thing, even most points kind of thing, there has to be a free method of entry to win the prize. In your case, you're saying that you're going to pick winners to get a free day if they rent 2 or more days. Then you are requiring the people that are winning to purchase something. And that gets really fishy with the U.S. laws. Now, I continue to see campaigns in the United States where people are requiring a purchase, and every dollar you spend, you get another additional chance to win. I have not dug into the legal aspects of that. I am just advising you to be careful. At least have a method of entry where somebody gets the prize for free if they just give up their email address. Pat says, did you get my campaign's invite link? Was it here? Pat, I'm scrolling back. I don't see it. Did it come through the form? The UpViral request? Is that what you're talking about? I did get it, Pat. It was not there earlier. I have it. All right, I'm going back. Tim says, I would like to create a sweepstakes for people in the hotel and gastronomy sector. All right, I'm a little confused. Is that a thing, hotel and gastronomy? I mean, gastronomy being something to do with your internals. I don't know what gastronomy exactly covers. Where they win an online marketing campaign that I build for them for free. Do you have any suggestions how you build the landing page, how to promote it, or thoughts about it? Actually, I was working with somebody a couple of years ago to build a similar campaign that was going to attract doctors. The key to this kind of a campaign is that it's not going to be a general, everybody shares it on Facebook kind of a campaign. It's more like a business-to-business campaign where, why am I not seeing my picture? Oh, there I am. It's more like a business-to-business campaign where you're going to incentivize maybe doctors if that's I'm not quite sure what that is. And maybe if I scroll down, you've said more. But what you're trying to do is to get an individual who's in that industry to refer others. So it's much more of a referral campaign than just a share it on Facebook and everybody potentially will see it and join. So it's yes, you can do it. Yes, you can. But it's going to be more customized than what you're probably expecting. Tim says a restaurant. Oh, restaurant, not doctors. Okay, why didn't you just say restaurant? Hotel and restaurant. That makes more sense. Ah. I have one of my mastermind members, by the way, that is doing that on a local basis, where he's creating campaigns for restaurants. He's doing a video, designing the marketing, and crushing it. Absolutely crushing it. So yes, you can do that. Fine cuisine, Pat says. Tim, no, don't do that either. Tim says, excuse my blank English. I'm German. No, that's fine. It's just Mitch Mitch is clueless. I'll say it to you too. You speak more than one language. I speak uno, and so bravo to you. Please don't ever apologize for not understanding the words. I'm the one with the problem. Pat says, Tim, you can use the UpViral templates and customize your own material. Canva works really well to create visuals. Yes, absolutely. I use Canva all the time. I got a pro license for Canva because I use it so much, and it's well worth it. I initially poo-pooed Canva. I thought it was going to be a real dog of a tool, and it's turned out to be one of the best things on the planet. Claudia's bragging. I'm sorry. Claudia says, I speak Dutch, English, German, and a bit of French. Bravo. Good for you. And yes, absolutely. And like I said, the gentleman that is in my mastermind is absolutely crushing it. He's so busy he can't come to our mastermind meetings because he's so busy doing stuff. It's amazing. Absolutely, you can do that kind of stuff. All right, 10 o'clock. Welcome to the new hour viewers that are coming in. I'm joking. Have you ever seen those shows where new people come in every hour? You're welcome, Tim. So, let me put Pat's campaign. Kiki asks, could the grand prize be a free day and the second and third prizes be 50% off? Absolutely. You can arrange the prizes however you want. You can have different values for your prizes, absolutely. Even with your free luxury car rentals. I mean, to me, by the way, Kiki, it would be much more exciting a prize if you say, I'm going to give you a 3-day, 5-day, or a weekend rental of this luxury car absolutely free. That's the first prize. Yes, absolutely. It's much more appealing. Remember, think about this, people, all of you who are watching still here, always, I'm stealing Bradley's thing. Where's my Bradley thing? I'm sharing my screen, aren't I? Zoom. Stop sharing. Zoom. I love to give Bradley credit for this. Except here it is. The offer is everything. So enticing that people are willing to crawl through broken glass. See, Kiki's got it before I even said it. Absolutely true. You have got to have an offer that is so sexy, so appealing. Why are you, Kiki, why are you chinsing out and saying, well, you get 2 free days, but you got to rent the car in the first place? Come on. Make it sexy. Make it appealing. Make it something that somebody's willing to really go after. If you're offering a chintzy that I got to rent something in order to get a couple of days free, that sounds useless to me. Right? Make it a cool prize. Make it a car rental and a dinner at one of the local restaurants. Make it a hotel. Give them a night or a weekend at the hotel plus the car rental. Now I want to enter. Now I'm eager to go. Come on, baby. Quit just Go all in. Test it, see if it works. Initially start with just a weekend car rental in a luxury car. Up the game in the next campaign. Pat says offer a free rental, then a substantial rebate if they want to extend the rental. Steve says give them bonus entries for people that rent the cars. Absolutely. There's 1.5 million different ways to make this more fun. Give them free days. But make the grand prize totally free. Make it something that's sexy that people really want. 50% off coupon is not something that I really, really want most of the time. I want the thing. Make it every weekend for a month. Make it one weekend a year. I'm sorry, 1 weekend a month per year. And that's really appealing. Step up the game if you can. Kiki says, should I use the 3 prize for this then? Yes. Let me... All right. If you're willing to stick with me, Glenn says you can also collaborate with a hotel and a restaurant and have them be sponsors. Ta! Way to go, Glenn. Absolutely. I'm going to share some stuff, and Pat, I'm going to get to your campaign before we're done. If you're okay with me doing something else, let me show you a couple of things. That's Pat's campaign. We're going to get to that. And it looks pretty nice up front. Let me get to Chrome. Let me switch. Here's something I want to cover really fast. This campaign was submitted for review. This says campaign is currently not running. A, I can't review it if it's not running. But B, if you go to UpViral really, really fast, I'm going to get out of this. In this campaign, under advanced settings, down here at the bottom, when the campaign is closed, do not ever use default page. That's where this campaign is currently not running comes from. If your campaign ends, give them a custom page. Gotta move my face to get the X here. Or redirect them to a URL. Good golly, don't lose this opportunity when your campaign ends. There is still traffic coming in. I have a campaign that was built in 2018 that traffic is still coming onesie twosie a day to that campaign. If I were just sharing this stupid campaign is not running, I'm failing miserable. Do not ever do this. Redirect them to a URL. Look at this. Campaign closed. Second campaign. Campaign closed. What is wrong with you people? You just don't know. That's okay. I'm going to add that to the show of features that people aren't using. This one actually went to a thank you page because it's still live. This campaign actually got redirected to a URL. Bravo to her. Here's another one. Campaign closed. Can your URL be a website's homepage? It can be any URL on the planet. Absolutely, you can send them to your homepage. That's what the woman with the one that I just closed, this one is doing. She's sending to her homepage. Her campaign ended, so she's just sending people here. Absolutely. There's no contest on the page right now. You can get a free lead magnet or whatever. Hopefully that's an UpViral campaign. Doesn't look like it. Looks like she's using some other tool. I'll be using UpViral for that. Alright. Campaign not running. This campaign, the account was closed, so it went to UpViral.com. Now, this is a very interesting situation. The Bunky guys, those of you guys who know David at the Bunky team, he runs a website called Bunky Life. bunkylife.com. bunkylife.com. Oops. He just launched his Bunky Life campaign for 2022. There's a contest tab up here. If you go to the contest, now long story, but he should have a pop-up there. All right, win a $13,000 log cabin bunkie. Collect as many points as you can to increase your chances. Closes February 20th. Must be a resident of Canada. So Kiki, if you're doing the car rentals, make sure you tell people that it's restricted to a specific area. Because if they're going to share on their Facebook, it could be somebody from Japan coming into your contest page. Be careful of that. Enter to win. I get a little pop-up down here. Enter to win a $13,000 log cabin. This is an UpViral widget. Name, email, checkbox, I'm a resident of Canada. Enter to win or use Facebook. Okay, this is an UpViral campaign. Guess what? I'm going to move this back over here. His competition, Sawmill Structures, is running a bunkie contest. So here's an opportunity to see two different ways of doing a similar campaign, which is why I wanted to show it to you. David's, of course, is better. Long story there. Now, this is a pretty decent page, however. Win a bunkie. Enter now for a chance to win. Big, bold letters. Sawmill Structures, Great Canadian Canada. I can't read. Then some pictures. You could win the ultimate bunkie backyard. Office. A subscription to Cottage Life magazine, Maestro Heating, Cooling, and more. Don't care for this because it's confusing. I'm not even sure where that asterisk, what it belongs to. Anyway. So notice, on David's campaign, name and email. And a tick box that says I'm a resident of Canada. On the competition, it's first name, last name, phone number, email, postal code. Yikes! Who thinks that's going to restrict a whole bunch of information? And if you're the guy running this, let's talk. No. I'm consulting with David, so I won't talk to you. Sorry. But the reason I say that is because it says down here, we protect your information. That's something that I advise people to do all the time. I don't know if this person saw me say that, but bang. All right. This is going to restrict a whole bunch of entries. Yes, if I put in my phone number, I feel like I'm going to get a phone call from them. If I have to put in a postal code, that's okay. You can ask for that information, but it's going to restrict who's going to be eligible. Now, I'm not going to fill in all of this stuff because I've already done that, and I know this campaign is restricted to Canada because I got the error message, so I can't show you what the next page looks like. And I did not think ahead to log in with a VPN for Canada. David's campaign only asks for name and email and to verify that you're a resident of Canada. Now, one of the things that I have suggested to David, and they are going to do, Claudia says, P.S. I don't know how to have them register with Facebook. I can show you that in a minute. One of the things I've suggested to David, which they are doing, is they're doing two prizes. I want him to say up the top, we're giving away 2. This year is different. We're giving away 2 bunkies. One to a random draw winner, and the second to the person who referred the first one. So David took my advice on that. You see the stuff down here, and it does say, here's a big twist this year. The person who refers the winner will also win a bunkie. That's very different than this campaign that's just offering 1. So David, who has done this campaign 4 years in a row, is now upping the game. By the way, when I looked at this yesterday, they were getting 1 referral for every direct lead. So this, in my book, this referral thing is working big time for him because he's getting 1-to-1 referrals. But this is a very interesting scenario to see how 2 people offering the same prize are approaching this. One's not better than... I have to be careful since I'm consulting with David. This one is better than the other one, although I personally would have redone this page a little bit differently. But he's listening to me and he's making changes, so that's good. David is the kind of guy that will do what I suggest, and that's get started without waiting. David, by the way, I want to emphasize this. I'm going to turn off screen sharing. I'm going to show you, because I think this is important, assuming I can find it right off the bat. I have a lot of these screens. I'm sorry. God, I thought it was right here. Here it is. This is the post that David made in the UpViral group in 2019. You see down here is the date, 2019. Hi everyone, happy to be part of this group. Last year I did a giveaway where we gave away a $6,000 log cabin kit, and it went viral and launched our business for us. Are you listening to me here out there? David launched his business with a contest. The first year he did it in 2018, he got 12,000 leads. This year in 2019, the year 2019, he got 34,000 leads, if I remember correctly. In 2020, the year that I helped him build the campaign, got 103,000 leads. He started his business with a contest. He told me that he just had an idea. He wanted to sell these kits. He knew the manufacturer. He said, I think I can make a business out of this, but I need a list. So he ran this. Started his business with a contest. The contest was successful because he, A, knew how to run a contest, B, even before I got to him, B, was brave enough to do it, and C, launched his business. Absolutely started his business with a contest. Found out he could do it, and he found out there was interest in his products, and he's exploded since then. Kiki says he was on Shark Tank, wasn't he? Well, if I go back to screen sharing, zoom screen sharing, up at the top of this, let's see, as seen on CNBC's Dragon's Den, they got $1 million offer from all 5 sharks in the Canadian Shark Tank. It's called Dragon's Den. $1 million offer from all 5. It was the first time that all 5 sharks agreed to an offer. And if you want, if you go back to the home page, I'm going to just go backwards because, bless his heart, he took off all the menu stuff here. Right? Focus on the offer. So I'm doing the back button. If you go to the main page, bunkylife.com, you can click on this and go watch the show. And I don't know, I think you might have to be on a Canadian VPN, because I had to go on a VPN. Kiki says it's crazy that it all started with an UpViral campaign. Actually, I want to be clear. He used a different tool the first year. See, it says the content's not available in my location. So you gotta use a VPN to watch this. It's only 8.5 minutes, so it's not too bad. I want to be clear though. He did not use UpViral. The first year he used a different tool. It did work. Kiki says different tool didn't work. It did work. He got 12,000 leads. But the second year, he got 35,000, 34,000 leads using UpViral. He switched tools, and he had a much more viral effect. And he's been on UpViral ever since. And yes, there's actually 2 case studies on him now. They've done 2. If you go over to the case studies, there are 2 of them. So the key that I wanted to show you was the differences. If you look at the differences in the way they're running their campaigns, it's kind of fascinating. It's interesting. All right, so let's go back to Pat's campaign. That's not it. Where'd it go? It's not there. Oh, by the way, you're welcome, Kiki. This, by the way, if you have not seen your UpViral email, there is a contest they are running through the 28th. UpViral giveaway. Enter to win an UpViral bundle worth over $3,400. Winner will be announced on January 28th. Enter your email below. Yes, I want to win. We're giving away this bundle. 12 months of UpViral Hacking Viral Masterclass, UpViral swag, and a few of the users' testimonials. Okay, who wants to do a quick review of this one? I want you to tell me what's wrong with this page, if there is anything wrong with this page. Glenn says, I'm entered and I'm looking to win. Of course you are. Is there anything wrong with this page? Anybody? Countdown timer. There is no countdown timer. That's an interesting point. I hadn't thought about that. Maybe everyone doesn't know what UpViral is. Now we're talking. Claudia said, don't know what UpViral is. Thank you, Claudia. Steven says, what is the pain point? Thank you, Steven. Jeff also said, what if everyone doesn't know what UpViral is? Now, this was sent, to my knowledge, only to his UpViral list. So theoretically, if you're on his UpViral list, then you know what UpViral is. Pat's struggling with something. Pat, we're going to get to your campaign, okay? I promise. I'm distracted. And I am not criticizing the UpViral team. Just to be clear. But one of the things that I always do, and I'm suggesting to you to do this, is to think about this as if you were cold traffic, and many of you are doing that. You're thinking about what this message says, right? No, we're not complaining. Peter says, but the people you share it with may not know. All right, now I am specifically looking at this campaign for several reasons. And there are plenty of things to learn here. This may be absolutely crushing it as a campaign. Before I get to the thing that I want to say, Pat said it suggests that if you enter, you win, right? Because it says, yes, I want to win. I have struggled with this wording for years. I try to be very careful, and I try to, in my opinion, always say enter to win, which is, implication is that not everybody wins. And Pat's struggling with the words that say, yes, I want to win, because the implication might be that everybody who puts their email address is going to win. Now, maybe that's true. Maybe they will, quote, win something, a prize, a bonus, or something. But I do struggle with these words. Okay? And you may want to be careful, because I struggle with them, because I don't want somebody coming to me suing me saying I didn't win the big prize. Pat says, no, it says enter to win, so here I entered, where's my prize? Well, there you go. It depends, right? Enter for a chance to win. It says chance to win here. So, yes, I'm just suggesting you be careful about your wording, and be careful with your terms and conditions, right? Blah, blah, blah. All right. We're not going to try to fight over what the right words are right now. I just want you to be careful of that. And it's a good question, Pat. Now, the other question, or the other thing that people said was, Jeff said maybe everyone doesn't know what UpViral is. Steve said, what's the pain point? Don't know what UpViral is for referrals, Claudia said. Jeff said, but my referrals may not know what UpViral is. So this is a very interesting thing. Peter also said, the people who you share it with may not know. I forgot which email address I used. I think I used Gmail. But we'll just use I don't want to have too many registrations and getting... I mean, I'm already on Wilco's email list about 1 million times. So, I'm clicking on yes, I want to win. There is no I agree to terms and conditions, but that's okay. Now, somebody tell me what the major thing is about this page. Success, you're entered in the UpViral giveaway. 5 winners will be announced January 28th. You can 10x your chances to win by following us on social media. You currently have 2 points. The more points you get, the higher your chances of winning. Follow us on our social media channels to get more points. Somebody tell me what you're noticing here. Oh, Steve is the first one. Steve gets the bell. There aren't sharing options in this campaign. There is no share on Facebook, share on Twitter, share on Pinterest, share on whatever. The goal, Claudia says, is to create social media following. So we're talking about this because I want you to think about this when you're looking at your campaign and anybody else's campaign as you're trying to learn. Pay attention to what they're doing. This is a very targeted social media growth campaign, like Claudia just said. Okay? They are, so I am not going to get points by sharing this campaign, because guess what? There's no URL. There is no place where I can copy a URL and share it. I'm not going to get points for referring people. There is no cold traffic coming in here because it's not being shared widely on social media. Kiki says this is what the guy from Brazil was saying. Okay, I never watched that show. But yes, you can do that, right? You can have a specific focus for your campaign, and that's okay. It's one of the reasons why I was saying we're not criticizing UpViral. They probably have a very targeted focus for this, and they're testing something. So bravo to the UpViral team for testing something. Right? Absolutely nothing wrong with doing it this way. So why the 14-day trial for existing customers only? I don't know. I don't claim to know everything about this campaign. That's a great question, Jeff. If they sent the list to their email for UpViral, there are gobs of people on the UpViral list that have opted in but aren't customers. So it's not just customers on their UpViral list. So there may be some people that will take advantage of this 14-day free trial. Jeff says, I thought you said this was to Wilco's customer list. Yes. But I don't believe I said customer list. I said it's to his UpViral list, which could have a whole bunch of people that have opted in, just like you in your business. They've opted in, but they haven't bought anything yet. Okay? Pat says, get Wilco on the line. That was not my intent here. My intent was to think about what a campaign is doing based on what you know without talking to somebody. Figure it out yourself what they're doing. Steve says it's unlike Wilco to give away so much. Not really. He gives away stuff all the time. It's not a lifetime offer. It's just 1 year. Right? So again, think about what you see. Think about it hard. Don't just go, oh yeah, he's got some buttons there. Because I was looking for my share link because I was going to share it with y'all so I could get some points and get a free thing for a year. But the maximum that I can get, the maximum that anybody can get is 2 points plus 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So 27 points is the max you can get. Claudia says, I did not get an email about this giveaway. I've gotten several emails about this, so maybe you're not on the right list, or it's going into your spam, or it's going somewhere into the nether worlds. Don't know. Go back and watch the show that Christina Etheridge, can't think of his name. The gentleman I had on last year about email deliverability. That's the one you got to watch, because there are 5 different ways you may not be getting emails. Adrian, Steve, thank you. Appreciate that, Adrian. That was a great show. All right. We are an hour and a half in now. Thank you for being here. Let's go look at Pat's campaign. I don't know where I put it, so I gotta go find it. Where did I put it? There it is. Oopsie. Not that one. This button. In February, we're launching Public Transit's Game Changer. Millions of discerning riders worldwide. Sanitary safety, physical safety, confidence, ease, style, works in all vehicles. And there's a man with a mask. Okay, so, looking at the top of this, I know I didn't say the word for, but it does say for, Pat. In February, 4 millions of discerning riders worldwide. Does this have to be so big? It's taking up the whole screen. Our proprietary purpose-designed and built solution effectively addresses key public transit shortcomings, safety, and comfort. All right. On a launch day for limited title, pre-ordering will open on first-come, first-served basis. And bless you for putting in ED, unserved. Because I see so many times people say first come, first serve. And that's just grammatically wrong. Drives me bonkers. Because I'm an English fanatic. Don't miss out. So this looks like a button. I'm trying to click this button. Oh, you got the form down here. Oh, I forgot to show Claudia how you do the Facebook thing. If you go to... Jeff says that's as frustrating as the whole nother. I say nother all the time. Design. Email template. Alright, so Claudia, I think it was Claudia that asked about the Facebook thing. Real fast. Over here, way down on the bottom, on the left-hand side is a Facebook opt-in button. So drag that in and change it however you want to change it to get a Facebook opt-in /login, whatever. It's right there. Now, in the Bunky campaign, he's doing both, right? He has a form like this, and then he has a text box underneath it that says, or Facebook opt-in. So you can do it either way. All right, back to Pat's campaign. We're a team of lifelong public writer transfers, blah, blah, blah. Don't miss out. This looks like a button to me. I'm trying to click it. But you don't mean it that way, because it's not right over this. So here's my feedback. It's taken me this long. Pat says, English is not my first language, so please feel free to point out mistakes. Bless your heart. Thank you for being here. If it were me, so this says, in February we're launching Public Transit's Game Changer. Number one, I'm having a hard time reading that because it's all caps and it's just... What you're trying to do here is identify these things. Your solution is going to help with these things. But if I just saw this, I'm confused as to what your offer is. Jeff says, I don't know what they're launching. And yes, that's true. This is a wait list, kind of an issue. And sometimes it's good to have a teaser. But in thinking of this, my first question is, all right, so purpose design built solution addresses all of these things. Okay, my first question as somebody that's reading this is, does that mean it has to be on the physical transit? Is it a big machine? Is it something I'm going to wear for myself? Is it a mask? I am still got millions of questions, and therefore I'm not going to give up my email address because I don't know enough about it. Okay, now, over here it says subscribe to our insiders list. Well, is that what I'm doing? Oh, now it says subscribe me. Wait a minute, I'm confused. I thought I was just going to get first notification. That's not a subscription to me, that's just a notification. Early access to product insights and video priority notification 24 hours before launch, and details on our insiders draw for a 2-month transit pass in your city. Alright, so lots of confusion here. Glenn says, who are you calling out? Tim said, I was thinking about above the fold. Yes, I agree with that. Jeff said, I don't know what they're launching. Claudia says, who is it for? Reading it all, I believe it is for sellers and not for customers. Glenn said, above the fold opt-in form, how does it look on mobile? Great question. All right, so the problem, Pat, is above the fold, meaning I don't have to scroll. I don't know what your offer is even once I've scrolled. Am I getting on an email list? Am I getting early access to something? This says subscribe me. It doesn't say get on the wait list. This says don't miss out, but I don't know what I'm missing out on. It's just too confusing. I don't know enough of what your offer is going to be to opt in. Pat says, can we get online? Okay, yes, we can. But realize that what all of us have just said in the chat and the things that I read and what I'm sharing with you are the exact reactions to people, and you can't get online and explain this to people. Okay? We could do that. We'll do that in just a second. But your page has to be able to deliver the answers to all of those without having to get online and talk to me about it. You with me? All right, so let's try that. I'm going to go out of there because this is the only way I know how to do it. Let's see, Kiki, right? Or no, Pat. Sorry, Pat, allow to talk. All right. See, I've had headphones all this time. I forgot about it. All right, Pat, you should be able to unmute yourself. If you have...
All right, can you hear me?
Yes!
Awesome. Thanks, Mitch.
What a horrible accent. I can't possibly understand you.
I know.
I'm kidding. It's a joke.
So yeah, it's the first time for me using UpViral. I'm all new to this now, and I'm struggling a little bit with the sequence of how things are happening, because so when you go into your share message in UpViral, you know, there you can have, for social networks, you have some kind of a Facebook post essentially, and to me this is where everything is starting. And on that, and I don't know if you can see this this thing through the link that I sent you, but the very first contact that people will have with our company is basically a sign that says, like, it's a bus sign saying, "Are you ready for touch-free commutes?" So essentially we're talking to public transit users, and our product is something to, you know, so that you can benefit from a touch-free commute, and also increase safety and all of this. So yeah, we're talking directly, even though there will be a B2B side of the business, we're mainly right now, we want to talk to public transit users.
All right. Thank you for that. So
I assumed that when people see the thing saying, "Hey, are you ready for touch-free commutes?" then it's like, oh yeah, because, you know, 95%, up to 95% of public transit riders globally have deserted public transit since the beginning of the pandemic, and
right.
It's hardly recovering because people just don't want to be in. Yeah. So anyway, all that to say that for us, what we're trying to achieve, because no such product exists currently. So we want to make sure that the persona we're talking to, we want people that are interested in what our product does, as opposed to being interested in winning a freebie. So we're trying to pique their interest with, okay, well, do you want to commute touch-free when you use public transit? If so, then they go there. We talk about the product, but and we're trying to follow Wilco's, you know, in the training videos, he says, well, don't even bring up your product before the third video. So this is where, you know, I'm trying to strike a balance between,
all right,
not saying too much too soon, but at the same time, I don't think I would go through 3 videos, because then I would lose people's interest.
Okay. You are doing multiple things simultaneously and failing. No, don't get me wrong. In this case, you're failing with your messaging. Now, what you said was that people are starting with a bus sign that talks about no touch, right?
Yeah.
How come this doesn't say that? You should be matching your languaging that you're using on the buses here. Because if you think that's effective, which I think it is, that should be here. It would connect them when they're getting off the bus to get here. Now they get, oh, that's the same message I saw on the bus. Okay? Now,
I see.
Let's go. I'm going to talk about a lot of things, so because you've hit a lot of things. I don't have the fancy iPad that Wilco has to draw the little pictures, but what he draws is exactly this. With UpViral, it's a 2-page process, right? The direct traffic, which may be people coming off the bus, or emails, or your social media, or anything that you are doing, Facebook ads, will get to the lead page, which is this page, right? It has the opt-in at the bottom.
Okay.
Theoretically, your opt-in is going to be at the top, because right now it's lost. But When they register, then you take them to the share page and you're going to ask them to share. The thing that I want you to recognize here is that if somebody gets to the sharing page and they click on the button that says share on Facebook, that's sending out this message. And that's just basically broadcasting to the world that they should come in and look at this funnel. You with me?
Yeah.
These people are absolutely stone cold dead traffic to you. Not dead, they're cold. They know nothing about your other offer other than what they saw in that social media post.
Okay.
Now, theoretically, the people that are on the bus may be warm traffic, but probably they're not really warm because they don't understand what your offer is. Okay. You just teased them with, hey, are you tired of touching stuff on this bus? Here, we're going to make a solution for that.
Yeah. So what you're saying is that when people share, the people that will get the message won't see the actual share message, the one that says where I say clearly, are you ready for touch-free commute?
It depends.
Right? All they will see.
Let me show you what I'm talking about, just so we're clear. I'm going to exit the editor on this. I don't want to save my changes. But what we're talking about inside of UpViral is number 4, this sharing message.
Exactly.
This message may say, hey, are you sick of riding the bus and being afraid you're going to catch COVID?
Yeah.
We have a solution for you. Click to find out more. Okay?
Yeah.
So they're essentially still coldish traffic, just like the people on the bus, right? You're people on the bus, you're not explaining to them. They've never heard of your offer. They don't know what it is yet. So your opt-in page, damn well better explain to them and get them to crawl through broken glass to get it, right? Going back to that previous thing that you even quoted. I believe that was you, or was that Kiki? Anyway.
So what you're saying is that essentially the share page, the opt-in page should be almost a repetition of the share page, right?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
The same messaging, like,
well, yes, you should use the same messaging because people need to be able to connect.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And
the
I'm
icons wouldn't work because, and again, and thank you so much for the feedback. But for me, because we've been in it for so long, to me, when I put the icon saying, okay, sanitary safety, and you see an icon that says, oh, you don't touch this, like to me, it was a clear indication that,
but you're too close to it. You are way too close to it.
Exactly. Okay.
Right? So when I look at it, I see this sanitary safety. I kind of sort of know what you mean, but it has no reference to me about what your offer is yet. Right?
Okay.
It is a problem statement, but it says sanitary safety. The problem statement is I don't want to touch anything, so the icon is right, but the words underneath it to me conflict because it's not safe. The image is not safe, right? Touching the thing, and frankly, I didn't even recognize till just now. It took me this long to recognize that's the handle on the bus or the subway, right?
Yeah.
I don't even recognize that. Maybe I don't ride the bus, so maybe that's my problem. But it looked more like a bowling pin to me, and I'm like, what is that thing? I get it now. Jeff says it looks like a thermometer. So, but I think I understand that icons should give you a visual reference, but a lot of times words work better. And potentially what you might want to do, I don't know if you've seen it, but you can now add an animated GIF, right? So it's not a video, it doesn't play with sound, but an animated GIF may portray this stuff a little better for you. You could have somebody, like if it was a video of somebody walking onto a bus and reaching up to touch that handle, and then going, oh, I don't want to touch that, a visual pull back. Now I'm starting to go, oh, I get what you're talking about. Oh, that's me. I don't want to touch that thing.
Yeah.
right? And then you could flash to another one with physical. I mean, any one of these, you could figure out what works for those things. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to combine a whole bunch of things into one thing, and I could go on for another hour. If you guys want to stick around with me, I'm going to talk about several things. In the conversation you had when you first came on, you said, well, Wilco says to do 3 videos. That's a whole nother funnel, right? That's in UpViral. UpViral by default, if you're using UpViral hosted pages, is a 2-page function. You can't do the product launch formula, which is a Jeff Walker thing that Wilco talks about, with a viral product launch where there's 2 or 3 or 4 videos.
So what do you use?
That's a multiple page funnel. You can do that inside of UpViral, but you got to understand what you're doing. Glenn. God, why can I not come up with his name? Gabe Schillinger is doing that kind of style. So what he has is UpViral, lead page, share page, and then he has 4 pages after that. So I'm drawing. I probably can't even see my thing. Oh yeah, you can. So there's different ways of doing this, but what you're in your mind envisioning is you're combining multiple different funnels and trying to make it all fit into one, and that's really hard to do.
Yeah.
So typically, especially if you're just starting out, in this case, what I think is you just want this. You want a simple opt-in page that convinces somebody that says, hey, are you afraid of being on the bus? Are you afraid of sitting in a bunch of COVID? We have a solution for you, and it's coming on February 20th or whatever. Mm-hmm. Sign up now to get on the wait list to know more. And keep it simple, but use the graphics, which is what you were trying to do.
Yeah, and
that's
exactly what I'm trying to do, because the launch is upcoming, but we don't want to divulge the product before then, right?
I understand.
So we have to pique their interests with something, and because it is a premium product, we don't want to put at the forefront that, hey, you get this, free 2-month pass, because the people that will buy this, I mean, that's not necessarily, they don't necessarily need to win the 2-month pass. So, and I was struggling with that incentive. At first, I wanted to give away one of our products, but then because it's a product launch, it's the first time it'll go live, I was afraid that people will hold off onto placing their pre-order. Okay, well, I'll wait to see if I win.
Yes, and so I was going to get to that. Again, what you're trying to do is too much.
Yeah.
You're trying to do 5 different strategies on one page. The focus of any UpViral opt-in is to get people's email address. That's the only function, right? You may need to provide a little bit of education for them in certain cases, but in this case, somehow you have to portray that the struggle is dealing with COVID and being on public transit. And what you had on the current bus is probably a good phrase, because you probably thought about it till death. Mm-hmm. Right? So maybe you put an animated GIF here, and then you say, get on the wait list to find out more. You don't talk about any kind of an offer. You don't talk about a free pass or anything else. You are simply trying to get people to opt in to be on the wait list to know more about the product.
Okay.
You can say this stuff like, we're going to give you early access and 24-hour notification, but don't tell them the details on the contest, because that may not really actually happen yet.
Mm-hmm. But then what's their incentive to share?
Their incentive to share could be a special video with more information on how they can, right now, without your product, be safe. Maybe it's a PDF, maybe it's a video. Find out how to be safe now, right? But you have to invite 3 people to get that free PDF.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm laughing. I'm sorry. Steven said, "Is this pocket pepper spray?" Like, no, I don't think so. But and playing on the secrecy can be vital to you, right?
Yep.
Don't tell anybody. We're gonna announce that. Not. Okay, let me rewind that. Of course, you want people to tell other people about this thing coming up, but you do have to give them incentive to do that. But you do want them to feel like they're an insider, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be one of the first. Give them some things that are potentially very sexy for them to get now,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Well, and this is where, so I guess I'll probably start back from scratch. So what is your recommendation, Mitch, if we want, what I wanted to do with this originally was to use Wilco's, the 3 video strategy, and where the product, and he emphasizes on this, saying, don't even reveal your product before the 3rd video. So
right.
this is why, but you still, and I don't know if you remember, I had posted a question, I think it was on Facebook, saying like, how long can I tiptoe around the topic, and get people interested if I don't show the product? So it is a challenge. It is a
Sure.
challenge to
Sure.
get them interested without telling them what the actual product is until
Yes.
3rd video.
So again, you are absolutely able to do that with something like UpViral. You can combine a wait list. It feels to me like what you want to do is to get people on a wait list, right? In February, we're launching this. Now, if you already know how to create some videos, sorry, I shouldn't be reading the comments. Steven just said, is it a Kevlar jacket? No, that's not going to stop COVID. Come on, Steven. That's what happens in the chat room. So think of it as a timing thing, right? You still may want to do the 3 product or the 3 video product launch that Wilco talks about. That's, if you want to go read Jeff Walker's book, he's got a whole stream on how to make the videos, what to say in the videos, all that kind of stuff. Now, so let me picture it this way, and I don't have the little drawing thing, but picture a wait list as you're teasing people to get involved, right? You may have a video or 2 that you are incentivizing people. If you share, then I'll share this video with you if you get 3 people to sign up. Something like that. But the wait list ends on, let's say it's February 28th. That's when we're going to announce the product. And then once the product launches, you may want to do the product launch formula that gives them videos because then you want them to purchase the product, right? Okay, it's more of a purchasing process at that point to say, exactly. Here's the problem in step 1, video number 2, you explain possible solutions. In video number 3, you say, here's our solution, here's what we got, buy it now, right? But that's, so it's a wait list and then a product launch formula thing, and UpViral can do all of that for you, even in one campaign, but you got to structure it properly and understand what the different processes are.
Yeah.
All
right.
So, does that make sense?
It does.
Claudia says, could he do a contest with the waiting list? Absolutely. You can include a contest like he started to do down here. But that's not the sale pitch. Mm-hmm. Okay? The contest is just an afterthought to get more sharing. They don't even know about the contest till they've opted in. You don't tell them about it on the front page. What you tell them about is, hey, get on the wait list, find out about this super sexy product that's going to solve all your problems about riding on the bus and the subway and flying in airplanes. We're going to announce that on February 28th, whatever your date is. But you got to get on the wait list because we're going to give you early access, blah, 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 and that's it. On the sharing page, you could say, hey, we're having a contest to celebrate the launch. By the way, if you get 5 people to sign up, you get more points and blah, blah, blah. You could put all that on page 2, on the sharing page. Absolutely, you can do that. But nobody's entering this for the contest. They're entering this to be on the wait list. You have to be clear with your purpose and make it only be one thing.
Okay.
And I have people that are doing challenges with a contest involved. The opt-in page is only talking about the challenge. You're only trying to get them in for that thing, and then the contest is on the second page, because that's not... I mean, think of it like going to a convention or a seminar. They don't market the contest, but they have a contest while you're there to win some stuff to get you excited. Right?
Yep.
All right. Opt-in page goal, Claudia's got it right, is to get the email address. That's it. That's the only thing you're doing with the opt-in page. Give up your email address, and here's why. Feeling this pain? We're going to tell you the solution on February 28th, but we're going to give you some teaser stuff. If you get in early, then you get blah, 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 blah. So this is the reason why they need to give up their email address. Contest on the second page, if you want to do it. If you don't want to do it, just have incentives for them to invite others that they're going to get bonuses of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Whew. Great question, though. Love it. And this all goes to episode number 62 of Multiple Ways of Using UpViral. I always talk about that one because it had a lot of stuff about different ways of using UpViral. All right. Does anybody else have any questions? Pat, do you have anything else?
So I had so you responded to the question with regards to the chain of emails and everything. One thing I'm struggling with is I know that we can track the tracking option in UpViral, and I'm not exactly sure what it tracks and how to set it up. So I don't know if it's something that would be useful for others as well to
Absolutely.
see how to do.
Tracking is one of my favorite features, especially because I force them to do it. Inside the setup, if you go to advanced settings, under UTM tracking, under custom link. Now, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. UTM tracking is good for Google stuff, but custom links are important for your campaign and UpViral. So let's say you're can't do it on a bus because people don't write down a really long URL, but you could have a short. I'm going to get too far. I'm not going to say that. I can go way down this rabbit hole. But if you go to the UTM tracking tab, go to custom link, you can add a keyword. I'm just going to put in, let's go with Duke. I don't know. And I'm going to click plus. Now, it doesn't show you the whole tracking link here. And I keep begging them to make this longer because it can be a very long URL. But basically at the end of this, if I scroll, what you'll see is it says track equals Duke. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go to an incognito window, and I'm going to show you the whole process. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste in this link as if somebody clicked it, right? I put it on a Facebook ad. I put it in a Facebook group. I put it in Reddit. I put it on a bus if somebody were willing to do a QR code, which you can do with stuff like this. Use their phone. Well, now, hopefully you're doing that on the bus. You got a QR code so they can scan it and get right to it. But notice the end of this says track equals Duke. Can't have any spaces in there, and you don't have to pre-build it, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to not use Duke. I'm going to cheat. Oh, too late. It executed. So what I'm going to also do is I'm going to put in Pat, and I'm going to hit go. Now, what UpViral is doing, because A, I built Duke, and then B, I just did track equals Pat on the fly. What UpViral is doing is now tracking all the people that come in with those links. So you're going to create those links and you're going to put them everywhere, because when you get to your reports, and it may not be here yet because there is a slight delay. It's supposed to be less than a minute, but I've seen it take several. But what you're going to see, and you see two down here, Duke and Pat. Inside your reports, under traffic, you can see how many people come in with the link of Duke and how many convert. You'll see right now it says 2 visitors. It's because we hit it twice, but that's all right. And you will see the conversion right underneath it, like here. You see the number of visits and then the number of leads. Okay, so that's going to give you data about how well that particular traffic source, and what I'm talking about, going back over here to preview, what I'm talking about on this chart is this traffic here. Whether it's an email list, whether it's your social media, like you post it on Instagram, post it on YouTube, somewhere you post your social media, or traffic, any place you put direct traffic, any place you post a link, you put that track equals and then something, UpViral will track it. UpViral also tracks the referred traffic, but you'll see on the reports, there's direct and there's referred. Referred is the stuff that is building this blue numbers up here. Direct is the orange building these numbers. So the tracking, the track equals applies to direct traffic only. That's these people coming in over here. Okay, you with me?
Yep.
It's one of the best features UpViral ever added. And again, I pat myself on the back because I begged them to do that. It's my fault. You can all thank me.
So basically, if I post on Facebook, if I issue a post, then I take that post link, I go into UpViral, I add it there with the tracking extension to it, right?
No, you missed my point. You missed my point completely in that you don't have to build it in advance. This Pat, I did not build it in advance in UpViral.
Okay.
You don't have to build them in advance. Anything you put track equals XYZ and share it somewhere, UpViral will build the tracking for you and track it. You don't have to pre-build it. But I wanted you to see where they are in the setup and where they are in the reports.
Okay, I see. Awesome.
Okay, but yes, all of my students, all of my clients, all know that they should, every place you share something should be a different tracking link. We'll say that again. Every place you share, you should have a different tracking link. Let's suppose, Pat, that you have an influencer that's really an icky person that really hates COVID and he hates riding on buses and he has 1 million people following. You are going to give him his own link so that wherever he posts, you are going to see what his influence is and whether or not he converts.
Yeah.
Every place you post a link, every person you give a link to, you're going to give them a different tracking link so you see what the results are. It's incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
Especially for influencers. I can't tell you how many times I've run a campaign for a client who says, I got an influencer that has 1 million people and they're going to share it everywhere for me and I'm going to pay them $10,000 to do that. I say, okay, give them this link. And we come in here and there's like 2 clicks. I said, why did you pay that person $10,000? They did nothing for you. But if you don't have the tracking links, you can't go back to them and say, give me my $10,000 back. You didn't do squat. Very important feature of UpViral that hardly anybody uses. because they don't know it's here. And that's why episode 2, 2 weeks down the road, is going to be about features that nobody uses. All of my students, I guarantee you, all of my students are doing it. Everybody in my mastermind does it. You can't see what your marketing is doing if you don't do this. All right. Anything else?
That's it for me. Thank you so much, Mitch.
You're welcome. Absolutely welcome. Glad to have you here. See you next week. Because
Awesome.
we're going to talk about some fun stuff next week. Kiki asks, how do we manually tell a client how many times they should share social links to get points? When they click a link and not how many times it's been shared, right? I'm going back to Claudia. Yes, so if I give a custom link, a custom tracking link, if I share it in my Facebook group or a Facebook page, yes, you put a different tracking link for each one of those. You want to see the details of what's happening in each place. Absolutely. More tracking links equals more data. Light bulb, she says. Yes, absolutely, Claudia. Again, thank me for that. Pat me on the back for adding that feature to UpViral. Kiki, we have to manually tell a client how many times they should share. Okay, tell them 50,000 times to get points. Now, the clients, I don't know, do you mean somebody who enters the contest or enters a campaign as opposed to a client as somebody you're building a campaign for? If you're talking about the UpViral social sharing, UpViral only counts those one time, yes. There are not daily points yet in UpViral. I keep begging for it. But the social sharing only happens once. But what you tell them is that it's more important to refer people because you're going to give them 500 points for every person they refer. Does that make sense? Kiki says, gotcha. The gold of UpViral, I'm going to say this till I'm blue in the face, is not social sharing. The gold is rewarding people for bringing you new leads. That's what the reward is. Now, in UpViral's case, for example, they're testing building their social media. See how well UpViral will help them do that. They're not asking people to refer others. That's okay, you can do that. All right, I don't need to be sharing. Still 14 of you here. Bless your hearts. If you're even listening. Nobody patted me on the back. I'm going to ban each and every one of you. Just kidding. Thank you. Claudia says, I pat you on the back. Tracking links are incredible. But you got to know they're there to use them. All right. So let's wrap this up. We've been 2 hours and 15 minutes. Thank you for being here. Thank you for paying attention. Thank you for building your campaigns with UpViral. It's the best frickin' tool on the planet. Somebody posted earlier on one of my lifetime deal groups. What's the best lifetime deal? If you only had 3, which ones would you use to grow your business? I said, I only need one. I need UpViral. I only need one. Do you understand how powerful UpViral is? Lead magnets, webinars, contests, wait lists, product launch formulas. All of this stuff can be done in one freaking tool. You don't need ClickFunnels. As much as people love ClickFunnels, except for the product launch formula where you have multiple pages, I can't do that in UpViral hosted. I would have to have another page builder. But Jeff says I want the pepper spray. Anyway, Next week, we're going to cover the unified templates. Please be here for that show. You're going to learn some stuff that you never even thought possible. Your mind is going to explode when you see that. Then it's people just do not understand the power of the unified templates. All right, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for putting up with me. Thanks for laughing at my jokes. Jeff. Jeff says, gotta run. Literally going for a run on the beach. I hate you, Jeff. Claudia, you're welcome. Kiki says, you're the best. Mitch, please, everybody, tell UpViral how wonderful I am. Tell all your friends. Tell them to come here to the co-pilot show. Don't forget your Kevlar jacket. Glenn says, thanks, Mitch. Another good show. You're welcome. We will see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Tell your friends that they should be using this tool, because it's going to crush it. All right. See y'all later. Bye.